From humble beginnings back in 1986 in the small town of Macquarie, Australia's oldest Ironman has ingrained itself into the history books of Ironman globally. Held in May each year, Ironman Australia doubles as the Ironman Oceania Tri Club Championships and sees hundreds of Tri Club athletes representing their clubs with pride in an effort to take out the glory and the title of Tri Club Champions. For years, this event has made its mark on Ironman athletes from around the world. Its continued growth and evolution makes it one of the must-do Ironman events on the global calendar. The event that continues to build on its ever-growing list of legends and immortals returns once again to its home of Port Macquarie. Hello, I'm Pete Murray and today I'm here to take you through the Ironman Australia course and provide some key insight to what you will expect from this incredible event. To ensure you get the most out of your race day preparations, we are joined by one of the all-time Ironman greats here in Australia, the 2016 Ironman Australia champion and also the 2016 Ironman 70.3 world champion, Tim Reed. Evolution has been the key to success for Ironman Australia. The change of location from Macquarie to Port Macquarie, the weird crossing for Ironman athletes, the new bike course, and some new additions to the course that we're going to share with you today. Race morning's a culmination of all your hard work. It's the moment you've all been working toward. Whether you're staring down at Ironman or Ironman 70.3, all that's left between you and achieving your goal is distance and time. Transition, race morning, a lot of nerves, very anxious for the athletes. It's a very special moment, Tim. It does start with helmet check as you come into T1.
That's right, Pete. The first thing you'll do as you come into transition is get your helmet checked. Then you make your way to your bike, check that your race nutrition and hydration's all sorted. You will want to check the tyre pressure's spot on because this course does have a variety of surfaces on the bike. And then learn the transition flow so it's smooth sailing. And there are transition tours the day before.
Heading over to the swim, both the 70.3 and Ironman athletes will seed themselves according to their swim time in preparation for the rolling start. At Ironman Australia in May, traditionally the water temperature floats around the 20.6 degrees, so be prepared for a wetsuit swim.
Pete, you really do want swimmers around you who are swimming the same speed. It makes for a safer swim, probably a faster swim, and most importantly, a more enjoyable swim. So seed yourself correctly, be honest with yourself, and set yourself up for a great day ahead.
Both races start on the Hastings River here at Westport Park boat ramp, with each course travelling in a clockwise direction for one lap. The biggest difference being the weir crossing, a feature unique to Ironman Australia that only the Ironman athletes will cross.
Pete, there are some things to know about this Ironman Australia swim course, starting with navigation. Use the sighting buoys and the turn buoys to navigate your way through the course.
Please note that Ironman 70.3 athletes will turn early, while Ironman athletes will make a left-hand turn and head to the weir, the unique part of this swim course.
For athletes going over the weir, it pays to take a calm and cautious approach. You don't want to spike your heart rate too much and you want to get back into your rhythm as smoothly as you can.
And Tim, heading home, the athletes will go into direct sunlight, so goggle selection is the key. Once you've completed your swim and have exited the water, you'll make your way up and over the Ironman bridge before entering transition. Tim, swim finish, bike start, best tips for transition.
Pete, my number one tip would be slow down, stay calm, have a methodical approach and make sure you've got everything with you for the big day ahead. The day will go smoother, provided you've got through that transition with everything you need.
Sometimes things can feel hectic through here, so make sure you know the flow of transition and stick to your plan. Now isn't the time to make unnecessary changes. Final piece of the puzzle, put on your helmet, take your bike from the rack and make your way to the start of the 90 kilometre or 180 kilometre full gas bike course. Ironman Australia has seen so much evolution over the years, and the team from Ironman Oceania are passionate about providing the best possible course for you to get the most out of your race day. The most recent evolution is that of the bike course. Not seen anywhere else in the Ironman world is the two separate Ironman and Ironman 70.3 bike courses that run on the same day. For our 70.3 athletes, when you exit transition, you'll head out through the city centre to the stunning coastline of the Port Macquarie region, taking in the new course inclusion of Tacking Point Lighthouse before heading south to Lake Kannai and returning to take on the infamous Matthew Flinders Drive, then push through the undulating roads of Pacific Drive, not once, but twice, completing 2 full laps before returning to transition 2. For our Ironman athletes, you'll exit transition in the same direction as our 70.3 athletes, but very quickly make a U-turn and head west, out past the airport to the rolling hills of Pembroke and Wauchope. Ironman athletes will complete 2 laps in the beautiful hinterland before returning back into town, passing transition and heading out through the city centre to complete 1 loop of the stunning coastline down to Lake Kannai, including Tacking Point Lighthouse, climbing Matthew Flinders and riding the rolling hills of Pacific Drive before returning to transition. Starting with the Ironman course, we've got a great chance to really settle into your rhythm from transition.
That's right, the first 25 kilometres is smooth and fast riding, but you want to keep that excitement under control with all the free speed on offer. I think focusing in on your heart rate, your perceived effort or your power to make sure you're not overdoing it early, and start getting on top of your hydration and nutrition. You have just had a big swim without taking anything in.
Tim, here in Port Macquarie throughout May, the average temperature can creep up during the day to around 21 degrees Celsius. However, on race morning, we may see temperatures as low as 12 degrees. This is certainly a key factor for our athletes to consider.
Yeah, especially with that fast section early on in the bike course, I think it pays to have layers on out of transition that you can take off if you do get warm.
After that first section, we around the 25 kilometre mark, we do hit the rolling hills of Telegraph Point and Pembroke. Gear selection, so important.
That's right, you don't want to be grinding up these hills, you want to be spinning so that you've still got plenty of energy left for the marathon. I think a lot of these undulations, you can actually ride the downhills into the next uphill and use your momentum to your advantage.
Well, here's a tip for all the athletes. When you get to Port Macquarie nice and early, come out to Telegraph Point, jump on the bike on Pembroke Road, test the course, try the course before race day.
As we spoke about, Ironman Australia has a variety of road surfaces with a lot of country road just like this one. As you can see, it's a little bit rougher, so a lower tyre pressure will make for a more comfortable ride, but also you'll go a little bit faster.
For the spectators, if you want to get a great vantage point out here on the western side of the course, head to Winery Drive. It's easy to access and you'll catch a glimpse of your athlete as they go past on both laps. One area that we'd like to bring to your attention is this narrow bridge on Pembroke Road. Coming from either direction, it will be fast and technical. Our marshals and volunteers will be slowing you down, so please pay attention and ride with caution. Once you return to Westport Park, you'll head out on the same section of course as the 70.3 athletes that went before you. Take caution through here as you may be met with some of these athletes who are rounding out their bike leg and heading into transition. For both 70.3 and Ironman athletes, winding your way through the streets of the city centre of Port Macquarie and heading to the coastline, it's fast, it's technical, and really it does feature some rolling hills.
Yeah, Pete, with those rolling hills, conservation of energy becomes really important. Athletes don't want to go too hard over those hills. They will be depleting precious muscle glycogen stores, their energy stores, if they go too hard, and they need that energy for later on in the day.
I think it's also important to note, Reedy, that the southern end of the bike course, as we've seen in previous years, those coastal winds do pick up throughout the day.
Yeah, those winds and the rolling hills are particularly relevant for the 70.3 athletes because they're going to do the coastal section of the course twice.
One of the great features of the bike course here for 70.3 and Ironman in Port Macquarie is the Tacking Point Lighthouse.
Now, despite the incredible views, athletes need to use caution coming into the loop. It is quite technical and they'll really generate some speed coming down that hill.
And as you climb up along Lighthouse Road, you'll drop down the famous Matthew Flinders Drive before heading south to the turnaround at Lake Kannai. While riding the undulating hills of Pacific Drive can be used to set you up for your run, there's one hill before all that you've no doubt heard of and will definitely get to experience. That's Matthew Flinders Drive. It's short, sharp and steep, but an icon of Ironman Australia. Lined with locals and spectators alike, for a short time you'll feel like you're climbing in the tour as the colour and costumes cheer you on to reach the top. For the supporters out there, it's certainly one spot you need to get behind your athlete as they make this climb. It's worth noting that while riding to the top is a goal for some, there's carpet placed on Matthew Flinders Drive for those that need it. However you choose to tackle this one, you're sure to remember it for a long time. As always, stick to the rules and remember this is a non-drafting race. Time in a penalty box is time you can't get back. 8 stations are approximately 20 kilometres of each other, and you will see plenty of opportunity to remain hydrated and fueled as your day rolls on. You'll pass these 8 stations multiple times. Slow down on approach, communicate clearly, and give your volunteers the best chance at getting you what you need. Off the bike in the transition 2, Ironman athletes will make their way through the change tent and into their run gear before heading out on course. Whereas the 70.3 athletes will rack their bike and head straight out onto the run. Remember to know the flow of the transition, stick to your plan and stay focused. Tim Reed, T2, important part of the race, your best tips.
There's a lot of excitement with the crowd that's going to be cheering you on, but slow down, take your time and make sure you've got everything you need, especially your race nutrition. We want to see you get to the finish line in the best shape possible.
The Ironman Australia Run course is regarded as one of the best courses for the spectators. They're clapping, they're cheering you every single step of the way. Tim, tell us a bit more about this Hoka Run course.
Well, the first thing is, it's a world-class run course because of the amazing atmosphere created by all the spectators and the local community. And as an athlete, you need that atmosphere to draw on to give you motivation to get through the day. Plus, you've got amazing variety as you work your way through different parts of the town.
Exactly, Reedy. We've got the Tri-Club Village, the music, the sound of the finish line pumping all day long, the town square. It's all part of the amazing event hub here at Ironman Australia.
That's right, Pete. It is a flat and fast run course, but don't get overexcited early on. Stick to your pacing plan and set yourself up for a great run.
We all know athletes need race plans, hydration, nutrition, so important.
Yeah, athletes should really use the aid stations out there. The temperature will change a fair bit throughout the day, so you may need to be flexible with your hydration plan.
Looking after your hydration, looking after nutrition, it's the key factor for everyone's race. The other thing, Reedy, on the run course is the roller coaster of emotion.
Pete, there will be sections of this run course where athletes will feel invincible because of all the crowd support. Conversely, their mental fortitude will be tested on some of the more lonely sections of the course, like Settlement Point.
In the latter part of the night, it does get a little bit dark, it can get a little bit lonely, but the positive, every single step is going to get you to that finish line. Tri-Club Village is such a big factor in this race, being the Tri-Club Championship. There's lots of clubs set up in what is the heartbeat of the event precinct, all wearing their colours proudly and supporting every single one of the athletes, irrespective of them being a club mate or not. It's something to behold and is truly a special part of this event. Featuring in the 2024 run course, as well as run course for the future of Ironman Australia, is Coolumbung Creek. Recent developments throughout Coolumbung Creek opens a brand new section of walkways that Ironman Australia can now take advantage of. This section will see athletes hug the banks of Coolumbung Creek before heading back towards the course that laps the Macquarie Hastings River. The Hoka Run course will have aid stations roughly 2 kilometres of each other, providing plenty of chances to hydrate, refuel and cool off in the hot sun. For some of you, your run will continue into the night. Prepare for that and be aware that the temperature can drop quite a bit once the sun is set. Once they're required, athletes will be supplied with glow sticks to light up their night. Either way, you'll continue to be supported by our army of volunteers. Thank them, because without these amazing individuals and groups, we don't have these races. Your Hoka Run course will see you pass the finish line at Town Green multiple times throughout your day. At some point, it will feel like a tease, but at the end of the day, it's waiting to welcome you home after completing what will be an incredible feat. Now Tim, you've finished at the pointy end here. You've been crowned the Ironman Australia champion. The finish, it's special. What would you say to athletes preparing for their finish line?
That's right, Pete. Athletes do pass the finish line multiple times on this run course, but that just builds the excitement every time they go past for when they do cross that finish line. Now, with all the local support, your friends and family there to give you an amazing cheer as you cross that finish line, every finish line is special, but this one is as good as it gets, if not better.
Whether you're completing the 70.3 or the full Ironman here in Port Macquarie, if you come home as a champion or as our final finisher, just know that your Ironman family will be here waiting for you. What you've just achieved is nothing short of amazing, and we can't wait to celebrate this moment with you. Prep yourself for that finish line moment and the feeling that will last a lifetime.